Alright guys, so I'm going to make this video a little bit different than what you're normally used to seeing on my channel. I basically wanted to explain to you how to move during the Nova Warp Super, and I really wanted to showcase how you can close the gap as efficiently as possible on your opponent. And it's a little bit difficult to do it if I'm using text on the screen, so I thought I might just use my words. Now, I'm going to pop my super right now, and let's just pretend that this sign down there, this square sign, that's my opponent. Now generally what people do when they want to close the gap on their opponent, they're going to blink up into the air, and they're going to charge their explosion and then let it out obviously. Now that's not a bad technique, and it could work if your opponent is really close to you, but if your opponent is really far and you have to close that gap and you're going up into the sky like this, it's going to make you kind of like a floating target, and your opponents are just going to shoot you down from the sky. And worst part about it is once you actually close that gap and you're next to your opponent down there, you have to charge your you have to charge your explosion. And in most instances, what ends up happening is either they just shotgun you or melee you and you're dead, right? So what you need to keep in mind is that in order to close the gap on your opponent as efficiently as possible, more specifically, if you want to move from point A to point B as quick as possible, you always need to move in a straight line, okay? So ideally, what you want to do is use horizontal blink to close your gap on the opponent. So what you would do, I'm going to pop my super again. Most people, if they want to blink horizontally, they're going to jump up, they're going to hit the apex of the jump, and once they've hit that apex, they're going to blink again, right? Now, this again, it's a good strategy, but the flaw in it is that while you're jumping like this and you're waiting for yourself to hit the apex, you're a floating target again. And in that time, your opponents can just shoot you down and you're taking damage, right? So the whole purpose of this video is I'm going to show you how to move from here all the way to that little sign over there by taking as little damage as possible. And there's a really subtle trick to it. And what it requires is basically you pop your super, and instead of me jumping and waiting for myself to hit the apex, I'm going to jump. And the second that I'm an inch off the ground, I'm going to activate my dark blink, which is my teleport ability. And after I get out of my teleport, I'm going to activate my regular blink. Okay? So again, you activate your super, you jump, and the second you're an inch off the ground, you activate your dark blink, and then your regular blink. And here's what it looks like. So as you can see, I've closed the gap on my opponent pretty quickly, and I was literally almost invisible to them. I'm moving so fast between my blinks that my opponents can barely see me, right? Now I'm going to show you one more time what it looks like. I'm going to pop it. Keep in mind, when I'm pressing jump, immediately right after, I'm actually activating dark blink, and then I'm doing my regular blink. Now this movement ability that I'm talking about is actually really effective if you're using Astrocyte Verse. The reason is because Astrocyte Verse gives you a much quicker cooldown on your blink ability, and the other thing is that you can use it more frequently than the regular blink. I think you can use it up to 3 times. So if you want to use your Nova Warp, make sure that you're always using Astrocyte Verse. The other thing you need to keep in mind is this ability that I'm talking about, this movement ability. It works really well when you're either on a flat surface or on a downhill surface. If you're going uphill, you might as well just be better off blinking up into the air, because if you're using the ability that I'm talking about, you're probably just going to hit the ground and you won't be able to blink efficiently. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to end it off by showing you a few clips of me actually using it in the Crucible. You'll see how effective it is. I'm not going to show you like a million clips. I'll probably have about 4 or 5 of them. But you'll see how effective it is at closing the gap on your opponent. So thanks everybody for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.
Together as one. I love it. Your legend grows 2 for 1. for 1. Double down. 3 opponents down. 1 minute. You captured Zone B. You have zone advantage. 2 for 1.
Together, nothing can stop you. Zone C captured. Zone advantage is yours.
And that's why we have fire team. This is how you grow stronger.